Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairy Muppet. Welcome back to another Hairy Masters cast. Going to be playing an awesome game for you here today. So let's start getting into it. Up the top right side of the map, we do have Zerg player. It is Mr. Jaedong, and he has an absolutely hilarious looking profile picture on Wikipedia. I don't know when it changed, but it's almost too hilarious for me. It's one of those things where it's so hilarious that you look at it and you just want to cringe because it's just too much. So I'm going to reel off his stats as fast as I can and then Alt tab off that. So he's 25 years of age, from South Korea, plays for Evil Geniuses, and he's been there for like 15 years or something like that. He's been there for absolutely ages, so they definitely must love him. And his opponent down at the bottom right side of the map is Mr. Maru. Maru? I don't know, there's some accentuations you could probably do with that name, which I'm probably screwing up, but regardless, he is 17 years of age, from South Korea, plays for the Jin Air Green Wings team, and he's been in that team for a year and a half now. So very nicely done. Of course, it's only like half a year. Well, this game was probably like a year old or something, or at least 6 months old, I don't know, but yeah, kind of getting off track. So let's shut down those tabs, and I've got World of Tanks on another tab. I'm thinking about starting that up because a whole bunch of guys at work play it, so maybe doing that, but then again, maybe not. Let's get back to the game anyway. So Maru getting out with his expansion nice and fast. Did go for single barracks, got a bunch of Marines off it, then went for a reactor, and is now going for a factory. So very standard stuff here. Should be seeing some hellions come out of there. I'm assuming it's going to be hellions, maybe something else. There we a second factory. What the? That is not something I think I've ever seen before, a second factory. I've seen a starport coming straight off the factory. I've seen a bunch of barracks, but I don't think I've ever seen a second factory. What the hell is Maru planning to do in this game? Very interesting stuff so far. Jaedong looks like he's just going for expansions. He's got no tech on the way. I believe that's his second gas, guys. That's not really getting a lot of gas, but decent amount. Maybe saving up for a lair or something like that. Yeah, it looks like he's only just started mining gas, so he's going to get the third base nice and fast, getting a lot of queens, getting a lot of workers, and yeah, not really doing too much. He's probably just slowly saving up for ling speed, just, you know, pretty standard stuff. But this second factory, not standard at all, is actually going to be putting down a tech lab straight away on that. Oh, I think the barracks was building the tech lab for the factory. So the factory's got the tech lab now. It is pumping out that thing. So I think we're looking at some kind of early to mid game hellbat sort of craziness going on, because I can't imagine getting this infernal pre-igniter just for the hellions is going to be what he wants. I believe it's going to be for some sort of crazy hellbat sort of thing, but he does need the armory to do that, and we're not seeing an armory coming down yet. So either he's got extremely good timing for that armory, or that's not the plan. But I can't imagine him trying to kill anything with a whole bunch of hellions, even with infernal pre-igniter. If he really wants to do the damage, he's going to need to use the hellbats. So we're going to see exactly what he's up to. I guess, what is this guy up to? So we got double NG bays. So I'm still a little bit confused, actually. Maybe this infernal pre-igniter is purely just for really knocking Jaedong back in the early game, really causing a lot of havoc. So he's hoping to actually snipe some queens here. There we go. The queen's taking a lot of damage. This is bonus damage versus light units, I think, though. So he's going to be very good at killing the lings. Not so good at killing the queens, but the lings definitely going down. So what probably could have been a whole lot of dead hellions there turned out to be they killed every single ling and managed to get out of there. But as I said, infernal pre-igniter does not do jack when it comes to killing queens. So yeah, not that much. If they were hellbats, then it would be a different story. I gotta apologize, I'm actually a bit sick today, so a little bit sniffly. But luckily, I do still have my mute pedal under the table, so yeah, that should be fine. In case I have to blow my nose or anything, just press that, and it's all good. But yeah, look at these hellions, sorry, I keep thinking they're hellbats, but they are hellions. Still just running around, and Maru Really not sure if that was worth getting the Infernal Pre-Igniter if all he's got to use it for was this early Hellion pressure, because it really didn't do all that much. He roasted quite a lot of links, but he didn't get any workers. So the Queens still were able to hold off the Hellions, which they do quite well, regardless of whether they got pre-igniters or not, because as I said, doesn't add to damage versus Queens. So here we go. Nice base going out here. Does Jaedong realize it? He does. He's going to leave one Ling there. And the rest of these guys, the bloody gate was down. Widow might take it out most of them. Marines should be able to finish off the rest, or just workers. So yeah, this Widow mine really doing a great job there on the defense. It was looking a bit dicey, but managed to get it done. Jaedong just expanding like he doesn't even care. He's up to 61 workers. Maru up to 62 due to this early third base, which I assume he had workers pumping out of all of the early game before he actually moved it out to an expansion location. But got some links coming in now, and relatively undefended. Got some Marines out there, just a few. Should be enough. Should be enough. And the Hellion's coming around again, trying to roast the Queens again. And now there are roaches out on the map. Yeah, those Hellions, I mean, they've got to switch into Hellbat mode, otherwise they're completely useless. And I can't see Maru just throwing that Infernal Pre-Igniter upgrade away. I mean, might as well get an armory, might as well morph him into Hellbats and see if you can do anything. He's moving around, still trying to keep them working. Oh, did manage to take that out by shooting his own Hellion and putting it on top of it. So very nice little trick there. And yeah, otherwise, just sort of both players going very heavy on the economy. We got very nicely mining bases for both players, third and a fourth base for Jaedong at this 13-minute mark, which is quite awesome. But Jaedong seems to be a little bit ahead of the curve when it comes to these sort of army thing. I don't know. I mean, he's still using these Hellions. He's not building any more. So I take that back. Jaedong's not ahead of the curve. It's just that Maru is still trying to get the maximum usage out of these Hellions. And so far he's doing alright. Here we go. The roaches coming in though. What are we going to be seeing here? There's a lot of roaches and they're really going nuts. Maru actually having to fall back. The Bailey's coming through the roach numbers, but they are getting a little bit blown up. And yes, Maru having to fall back all the way back, and those roaches are still going very strong. They do have 2 armor, which makes them incredibly resilient to marine attacks, which of course are fast and small attacks, which armor works really well against. But they are finally going to get taken down. Meanwhile, so much damage being done to this third base. Everything getting taken out. I'm not sure how many workers died there. Holy crap, 30 workers have died so far. That is absolutely incredible. I don't know if he's going to be able to repair this. He has to get onto it ASAP. But everything's going down there. He's 38 under 66. That is a major blow against Maru. And Jaedong right now is just beautiful. He's just in a beautiful position. He's going heavy economy. He's been doing that all game, and now he's just done a critical blow against Maru. So all he needs to do is just stay awesome, and yeah, the game should be in the bag. But of course, as the replay, as the game time may indicate, it is a bit of a long game. I hope it's a bit of a long game anyway, because it's supposed to be definitely longer than 16 minutes. So we'll just have to see how this goes. He's going to move this base out again. He has repaired it up a little bit. He's got some tanks moving out, so Maru just sort of shuttling a force together. He's got a pretty good army. Where's his army? So he didn't really lose a lot of units. He was just retreating and hitting the roaches and retreating and so forth. So he didn't really lose a lot, whereas Jaedong lost quite a bit. But Jaedong, of course, kept most of his workers alive. Well, his workers never really got hit, so yeah, did a pretty good job. And Maru, of course, lost a ton of workers. Absolutely. He's only building one at the moment. Really needs to be busting out those workers right now. Here we go, a bunch of links coming in. They go. I thought he was going to sack him to take out a tank. That might have actually been a good idea. Just throw the links in there, take out a tank. Probably worth it in terms of an exchange, losing 12 links to take out a tank. These guys are way out of bounds, and Jaedong making it very clear that the middle of the map is exactly where he wants to be. No missile turret, So a whole bunch more workers are going down, and Maru is... that's just another blow that he really can't afford to take at this point. Only killed 4 workers, but yeah, there we go. Is he going to build a missile turret there? I really hope so. Now, what do we got happening over here on the left side of the map? We got 2 fully stocked medevacs. Going to be going over here. A Mutalisk is out on the warpath. A whole bunch of mutas. Oh, this is bad. He's going to be dropping the Marines, and the muta's going to be backing off, but great presence. I guess these overlords probably spotted them coming in. There we go. Ling's coming in to take out the ground forces. The muta's hoping to snipe the medevacs so they can't get away. And, oh, there we go. They're just going in nuts here. And it looks like the medevac does manage to get away with a few of those Marines. A couple of the mutas may have went down. He's actually lost 7 mutas so far, which is pretty incredible considering he only just started building them a couple of minutes ago. So Maru definitely doing a good job, but whether it's going to make a difference in the long run, not sure. He's been catching up very nicely. He's 13 workers behind, but that's not necessarily a crazy amount of workers behind. That's not necessarily enough to say that Maru is screwed. So Jaedong, yeah, let's just say that Maru had an incredible economy before, and now he's just got an okay economy. He's just got a standard economy, which is very nice, because I suppose Jaedong would have been in trouble if they were working on equal workers. What do we got going on here? Whole bunch of Lings coming on in. The Widow Mines are not down in the ground. That would have been huge if they would have got some shots off, but they're not going to get some shots off. The Lings going in here, going to be taking out the tanks. Are they going to go for the workers? There's so many reinforcements coming out that they are still killing a lot of workers here. This looks like there's 10 more workers that have died to these Lings right now, and it's just nuts, absolutely nuts how many workers have been killed here. And these guys going on down. We got a nice attack on the 3rd base here, but it looks like Maru is going to head that off nicely. He did move a lot of his forces back. He kept a lot of them out here, so they managed to hold off this offensive very nicely, but still pushing him back down to 50 workers, under 74, and Maru suddenly is like, he's just not in a good position in this game, and he hasn't been in a good position for quite some time. Oh, my game. What are you doing? What are you doing, stupid computer? Still recording, but there we go. There we go. I cannot imagine that being the replay, so it's just got to be my computer. Oh, I don't know what that was, but it just got owned, and these Lings, man. Absolutely awesome stuff. And Jaedong with just such a presence all over the place. He's got Lings over there. He's got Roaches and Baileys coming in over that side. He's got the Watchtowers in the middle. He's got Mutas flying around. He is really putting a pincer hold on this entire quarter of the map. Maru cannot get out, cannot do anything. And here we go, nice Roach bailing. No base down here. I think Jaedong was maybe hoping to see a base with workers down there that he could destroy. Oh, look at all these workers. Looks like the Roaches are going to take care of them, but the Bailings are running back. It's like, workers, let me have the workers. Nah, here we go, a bunch of Marauders going down. The Bailings, are they going to be able to take out the workers? They're taking some of them out. Oh, no, he's run past. There we go, he's going to burrow down there, forcing a scan to take them out, and more Bailings burrowed underneath there. Just, oh man, if the entire army groups up onto this spot, it is just going to be absolutely insane. So here we go, the Muta's still holding strong. They haven't lost too many since the 7 Mutas died like 5 minutes ago. So it's still been holding on pretty well. What have we got going on? We've got 2-2 here, 3-2 over there. Muta's continuing to dance around. Army-wise, it's basically just Muta Ling at the moment for Jaedong. We haven't seen anything really crazy coming out. We haven't seen, oh, we do have Ultra Armor. I thought that was Ultra Armor. And Pathogenic Glands, which is, of course, the Infestor upgrade. So we're going to see Infestors, we're going to see Ultras. An Ultra Infestor, of course, a very awesome combination against Triple M. So we should be seeing that coming out very soon. We do have a one Thor, at least one Thor coming out, of course, to counter the Mutas. And what do we got for upgrades here? 3-2, no vehicle armor, vehicle weapons, any of that sort of upgrades that are going on. So here we go, a bunch of these guys coming in. No defenses to speak of. The workers see them, the workers run. thanks to that sensor tower, they managed to see them coming, which is very, very nice. Oh, of course, he does have the planetary fortress there, so... yeah, my mute button just stopped working. That's not good. That's not good at all, considering how sniffly I am. I may have to try and restart it. Oh, that was close. That was very, very close. 3 widow mines. I don't know if it's enough to kill a muta, but I think it's pretty damn close. Alright, let's just go. Okay, it's working again. Oh, I would not like to do a massive sneeze and then have my mute button not working. Okay, we got some Banelings coming in here. The Marines are going to try and take them out. One of them gets close enough to actually explode next to the widow mines. It does a little bit of damage, but not too much. And armies are starting to get up there. Income-wise, 70 over 52. I don't think Maru cares very much because he's close to being maxed out. So he's got to say, yeah, give me a max army. I've got a bigger army than Jaedong. We're going to see how it works out. But did that medevac see the ultras and the infestors? I have a feeling that it may have. So we're just going to have to see how that works. Maru definitely getting out a ton of marauders at the moment, which is going to help him quite a bit. Look at these guys. They're running out. Oh, the planetary takes them out. Did he forget there was a planetary there? He must have forgotten because those Banelings were just going to their death. They were never going to accomplish anything running at a planetary. Here we go. Got some fungals. One fungal coming out. Doesn't really hit a lot. And Jaedong going to be running for it here. Not ready to engage this force for Maru. And yeah, the creep's got to go down, but he's... oh, there we go. Sending in his Banelings. Obviously, maybe he was trying to pull that army back so he could send the Banelings in there. Definitely not a bad idea, but unfortunately didn't work out too well. They had the bunker there. They had a bunch of bloody widow mines. So yeah, unfortunate that didn't work, but here we go. There's the engagement. Now Jaedong going in there, going to try and get some stuff done. Getting some sweet fungals up, but he's not fungling the main part of the army. The main part of the army is still falling back, still doing a pretty good job, and I think that Jaedong is not going to be able to do it right here. He's killed most of the army, but he's lost most of his own army, so it's pretty much just, oh, Maru just coming out with a little bit of a victory there, but just one wave of reinforcements is going to be enough to take that out. So both players really are going to have to get their armies back up in this game. So we're not really pushing up here. 68 over 49, still pretty much the same. We're with a bit more of an army, but after that crazy amount of stuff that he just went through, I'm not sure if he's going to be pushing out. Maybe a drop or two if he really wants to be ballsy, but I think, yeah, I don't know. How many medevacs does he actually have? So he's got 3 medevacs. So he's got to be thinking about a drop at this point here. He's got to be thinking about, how do I do some damage to Jaedong? There we go. He's got a nice drop over here already. I didn't see this, guys, but they're coming out right now. The Lings are on their way, so they've got to stop hitting the Overlords and start hitting the workers before the Lings arrive. But there they go. They arrive, and everything just gets the hell out of there. So drop pushed away for now. Jaedong has actually lost enough Overlords, so he's no longer able to get max caps, so he's going to have to get a bunch of Overlords rebuilt, I think. So maybe it's not that bad of an idea to actually be killing Overlords, because I'm not sure if Maru realizes that Jaedong is down to 180 max, but if he knew, I think he would be sniping Overlords left, right, and center to try and keep that number down, because it's such a pain in the ass to not be able to max the stuff. These guys really going nuts on that excavator, on that geyser, whatever the hell it is, and unfortunately those Lings cannot destroy that stuff. But here we go. Oh, they're on the ground. The Lings not even going to bother going further because they know it's just going to lift back up to the medevac. Looks like everything died there. The medevac completely empty, and that's it. Nice little drop there, but it doesn't really matter because they get killed half a second after they drop with this many Lings out there. Meanwhile, Jaedong just building up his army, getting a whole bunch of brood lords, infestors, ultras, corruptors, all sorts of crazy stuff. The scan does see them, so that is it. The cat's out of the bag right now, and Maru instantly building 2 more starports. So he knows that this is swiftly switching into an air versus whatever. So Jaedong with a massive air army. And Maru is just like, well, he's going for mass air. I'm going to go in with my mass ground, and I'm going to see if I can take out that base. And of course, Jaedong is going to find this a little bit hard to deal with. Just a little bit though. He's got to get his Broodlords over there and start working with those, which is a little bit of a change, but still had enough Ultras and still had enough Infestors to scare Maru enough to actually get the hell out of there, which is pretty awesome. So interesting. I think we saw this getting taken out by Lings before, but it looks like he has managed to save that. Has going to fall back on that. And it's surprisingly close here. Jaedong hasn't really got that much banked up with his max army. And so he's not all that far ahead. If he was really, really far ahead, he'd have a max army and he'd have like a few thousand of each banked up, but it's not really the case. So he's just going to be moving in here. The main army is completely somewhere else. So now Maru has the hard decision. Does he fall back to defend, or does he go on and do a base race? And it's going to be interesting which one he chooses. I'm pretty sure that Jaedong is not going to fall back to defend his own bases. I'm pretty sure he's going to go for it. And it looks like Maru is going to do the same. I mean, Jaedong could probably pick up a lot of these guys with his reinforcements. Maru, maybe, not sure. Not sure. Jaedong isn't actually going to have that many reinforcements. He's got a bunch though. But yeah, there we go. The Bailey's coming out. Are they going to be able to do much here? I'm not really sure. But he's going to have to worry about it. There they come. The Bailings rolling out, doing quite a bit of damage actually, killing quite a lot of these guys. Meanwhile, this army looking pretty indestructible right here. Beautiful Fungals, Ultras going in with the Broodlords. Maru never really had the infrastructure to deal with a mass air army. He never really had a ton of Vikings coming out here. So there we go, the base goes down. The army moving around, looking a lot smaller than when it originally came out. The Broodlords continuing to just destroy everything here. Reinforcements are coming out, they're sort of banking up over here. So he's got to be able to push out, but whether or not he's got to be able to wipe these guys out, I'm really, really, really not sure. Those Broodlords are very, very crazy looking, and they do have 3 attack, which is quite intimidating. So here we go, we're going to come down, we're going to try and snipe some Infestors. No touch luck, they get fungled, and then the Ultras go up the ramp, and that's going to be quite a lot. Here we go. Does he have enough anti-air? No, he's got the Infestors, he's got a fungal and put down some Infested Terrors. The Infested Terrors get taken down by the Marines, so the Viking's still up there. And he does have a bunch of Queens over there, which he's pulled up just to take care of these Vikings, but I think eventually just fungal manages to take them out, which is very nice. This small group over here still doing a pretty good job. Jaedong not really bumping out a ton of forces. He's lost so many overlords that he can't really build anything more, and he hasn't got that many resources left anyway. So it's definitely looking like it's going to be a base race. The Ultras and the Lings over here, they could potentially take this out. There's definitely enough of them. Are they going to go for it? They don't want to be trapped on this ramp. But there we go. Looks like Maru is going to give the GG. He sees his last buildings going down, and he knows that Jaedong just has too much lying around the map. He does, it's just like extractors and stuff like that. So maybe if Maru took them out when he did his first time around, he could have done something. But yeah, he saw the Ultras here, he saw the Lings. I mean, it would be extremely hard for him to get down and destroy these buildings with the Ultras and the Lings there. So he just looked at it and he said, all right, GG, that's it, done. And that's it, done. So Jaedong, as we predicted earlier in the game, did come out ahead. It turned out that Maru definitely got back into the game though, did an exceptional job. But Jaedong just went above and beyond, I think. And he just did a great defense over here against Maru's forces, killing those guys with banelings and all that sort of stuff. And just the quick switch to Broodlords. And Maru just was not ready for it at all. He did not have, he had like one starport with a reactor for building medevacs, and that's all he had. He saw like 6 or 7 Broodlords, he's like, oh crap, I need tons of Vikings right now. But he only had one starport, so he had no chance of being able to counter those guys. So that's it. Game done. Thank you very much for watching this game. I do hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys next week with another one. Stay tuned.